The fact is, it's been a long winter, but for spring allergy sufferers, they haven't been complaining. They're saying, hey, maybe this is not long enough.
And that's because spring slowly springing in and the pollen season won't be far behind it. Fox 11's meteorologist Phil DeCastro joins us now from the Fox 11 Weather Center with more on this story. Phil?
Well, thanks, Michelle. And there's actually already a little bit of tree pollen in our air right now, but it's actually not from our trees. But once our trees get going, some experts are saying to watch out. Spring is slowly coming around after a long, cold winter. Some people are already starting to feel it in the form of spring allergies.
So far, we're probably not seeing a whole lot of allergens being produced locally, but we are seeing some symptoms complaining of itchy eyes, maybe a little bit of nasal symptoms, probably due to pollens being blown up from hundreds of miles south of here.
That's because those areas well south of here have already seen their trees bud and start to produce pollen. Our own tree pollen season isn't far off. One of the things they look for to see if spring is right around the corner is the production of the male buds on a birch tree. But how do we determine when all of these buds will open up and produce their pollen? Well, that's a little bit tricky.
It's all influenced based on the temperature wise. So if you have 2 weeks of 70 degrees, you're going to see all the species actually going to produce the buds actually out. Then you're going to see a large amount of pollens coming out from multiple trees actually.
A sudden eruption of pollen like that would make life miserable for spring allergy sufferers. It's a possibility this year too, especially since early budding trees are running late, pushed closer to later budding trees. This same scenario played out just last year.
Last spring, when we had the extended, fairly cold winter, we saw a huge burst in tree pollens late in spring as compared to earlier when we normally see them. So it wouldn't be wrong to presume that this year could do the same thing.
A slow, gradual warm-up would ease the burden on those hit hard by tree pollen, but the potential exists this spring for a tough allergy season. According to Pandian, it's not the total amount of tree pollen released this season that's going to be higher or lower than average. It's just how fast that pollen comes out that's going to dictate how severe the pollen season is.